This one is from a bit of an unusual comment. I thought it was an interesting topic. It's from 2-bar PSI. If you knew you were going to die because of something unrelated to alcohol, would a person stop drinking? Would be an ironic situation for sure if they did. I think it's a really good question. I think it's something that a lot of people would think, it's what's the point in stopping drinking, or what's the point in stopping smoking? I suppose if you're a drinker and you're close to death, and I don't know, that's the situation that you have to ask yourself. Then it depends on the situation, depends on the person. I've thought a couple of times, what would it take to put me back onto alcohol? If the doctor all of a sudden said, yeah, you've got a disease that you can't get rid of, you've only got a couple of months to live, would I go back to the booze then? And no, the answer is no. I don't think I would, I think, as I said, I can only speak from being a healthy person, much healthier now that I've stopped the poison, than going back and talking about this from the perspective of somebody who would be in that situation. I mean, I'm not in that situation, so I don't know. But from my position, I can look at that and say, no, definitely I wouldn't. For a start, I think, because I think if there was a drug that I wanted to take, it wouldn't be alcohol. I think there's better drugs out there that you can take that would enhance your final time on this earth, rather than push you into a cloud of what I was used to doing for all those years. Alcohol has got so much, my alcohol drinking behaviour, I should say, has got so much, has done so much damage to my life and has taken so much of my life that I can't ever see myself going back to that ever again. So from that perspective, it just wouldn't happen for me. I'd want to elevate myself if I was living a life with pain, if my last few days were going to be painful, if it was going to involve a lot of pain, then I want something to take away the pain. I'd really want to be spending as much time as I could with my family, as much time conscious and as alert as I could with my family. So if I was taking drugs, it would be along those lines. Just as an aside here, I'm not against drugs. I'm not for a drug-free society, because it's never going to happen. Not in our lifetimes, and not for a long, long time. It's just the way society is, and I think I don't think that anybody should live their lives based around the morality of somebody else or another group of people. I'm all for individual rights. You should be able to do what the fuck you want with your own body, regardless of what anyone else thinks, so long as you're not harming somebody else. So that's where I come from that perspective. From my perspective, if I was in that position, I can't think of a reason why I would start drinking again. Like I say, if you're drinking already, that's a decision that you'd have to make, whether you wanted to spend some time, as I said, being as compass mentis as possible, being as happy as possible. And I don't think alcohol ever is going to give you that. Have a look, if you're a reader, have a look at a book called Tuesdays with Maury. I can't remember the guy that wrote the book, but I think the guy that the book was about was a professor called Schwartz, and he was. It was written by this young guy, so one of the students of this professor, and this professor had Lou Gehrig's disease, which is a degenerative disease which is gradually taking away the person's control, and they're just losing function day by day by day. Really quick acting, I think, from what I can remember about the book. But it was about this guy's attitude and how he was dying, and he wanted to die in the best possible way, which meant he wanted to squeeze out as much happiness as he could in his last days. Even he was talking about when he started losing control of his bowels and how other people were going to have to clean up after him because he didn't have the capacity to do it, and how he wanted to see that from as positive a perspective as he can, you know. And that's one of the most, I suppose, one of the most embarrassing things that you could do as a fully grown compos mentis man or woman, human being. So yeah, have a look at that book. I think it's a good read, and it's a good perspective on how you die. And by the way, I'm going to die of something which is unrelated to alcohol, because I've no intentions of ever starting drinking alcohol again. So there's going to be something that I die of. Hopefully it's going to be in the distant future. I think I've added a lot more quantity to my life because I stopped drinking alcohol, and I've definitely added a lot more quality to my life. Like I said, if I hadn't stopped drinking back then, I truly believe that I would be either at death's door now, I'd be severely fucking handicapped by what I'm doing, or I would be dead. And you know, going back and looking and being realistic about it, it'd probably be the latter. So I'm Kevin O'Hara for Habits Unplugged. We help people to stop drinking alcohol, to build the best possible version of themselves. If you want to come over and join us in our program, there's a link down below which will get you a $1 trial for seven days. You'll learn a lot in that 7 days, so have a try. No commitments, you don't have to stay. Take care of yourself, and I'll speak to you again soon. Onwards and upwards. Bye now.